There's a whole lot of stuff that I wish I knew at the very beginning of my entrepreneurial journey. And I'm about to tell you everything I wish I knew year one as a CEO. I took some notes because I didn't want to leave anything out. Listen, when we are on our journey to becoming an entrepreneur, we spend so much time wasting time on all the wrong things. I'm going to give it to you very, very raw and straight to the point on all the things you need to know year one as an entrepreneur. If I could sit down with year one Donnie and say, no, don't do that. You need to be over here doing this. This is what I say. Let's stop going after what it looks like and let's be focused on what it has to be. Okay. What it has to be. A lot of entrepreneurs, if you don't know, my name is Donnie Wiggins. Oh, welcome to another episode of Full Transparency Podcast, where I am Donnie Wiggins, your very favorite business coach. And that's what we're going to be doing today, having a very transparent conversation about your business, because I am seeing way too often many of you entrepreneurs just like you who are spending time trying to tweak and perfect and make it look like something. You are afraid to be seen starting at your starting point. You're comparing your chapter 1 to my chapter 100, and we're dead in all of that today. All right. Very first thing, mindset comes first, or nothing else will work. It was not until I got really serious about my own personal development, which started with dispelling some of the things that I believed, which started with changing the way I spoke to myself about myself, which started with getting people and things away from me that made me feel less than, or made me feel average, or made me feel normal. Because I'll tell you this, nothing about being successful as an entrepreneur is normal. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. And there are going to be so many myths that you have to overcome. So many thoughts that are holding you hostage right in between your ears, right in this area right here. And it's time for us to let it go. Number one is that you're afraid to fail. No, instead of being afraid to fail, you want to be eager to fail fast. I want us to reframe what failure actually means. For some of you, you are processing failure and internalizing it as your identity. And really, anytime you fail is the same as anytime you win. It's just data that you need to move on. It's the data that you're going to use to make some adjustments, make some corrections, and do better the next time. A failure is not a hard stop. It's a comma. You're putting a period on something that needs a comma or a dot, 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 or a dash even, right? Number two, when it comes to our mindset, we have to stop looking for overnight success. Oh, you think this person did it overnight? You think that person did it in 12 months? You've been trying to be an entrepreneur and starting your business for the last 90 days, and you're frustrated because it's not working. Look at me right now. It takes time. Nobody is an overnight success. There is no such thing. They've either been spending time studying, praying, wishing, trying, thinking, getting clarity, meditating on an idea over and over and over and over again. And what makes you think you're any different? Come back. Waiting for the perfect time. There will never be a perfect time. There will absolutely never be a perfect time. The perfect time for you to start is now. When you're not quite ready enough, when you're not comfortable enough, when you don't have it all figured out, let me tell you how you'll figure it out. You're going to figure it out in the doing, not the waiting. And if I could go back to year one Donnie and sit her down and say, Donnie, here's what you need to do, it will be not trying to have all the pieces in place. Girl, you're going to figure it out. Building a business is much like living your life. You don't have all the answers, Sway. Who said that? Kanye? We're not quoting Kanye. My bad. We're not quoting Yeezy, but I do like that. You don't have all the answers, and that's just the truth. And here's the thing. I don't know, I'm 46 years old. I have been trying to be an entrepreneur on and off and on and off and on and off since I was 17 years old, which essentially means I've been building businesses for almost 30 years. Don't look a day over 30, darling. But I have been trying to build businesses for as long as most of you who watch this have even been alive. And let me promise you this. I'm still figuring it out. Here's the thing. Entrepreneurship is about waking up every single day and figuring out how to make money and create impact and deliver products and services from your own idea. Many of us don't have a blueprint. So why are you trying to make it perfect? Nobody taught you how to do it. You are observing how it should be done. You see other people doing it. You're comparing your brand new startup beauty brand to that of, I don't know, Johnson and Johnson and all the beauty brands. You're looking at L'Oreal and CoverGirl and Fenty Beauty and all the things thinking, oh, I need packaging like that. I need a logo like that. I need this product. Oh, they have a skin primer. I need a skin primer. No, baby, just stay right there with your moisturizer and your body glaze. All right, stay there. Let's make that pop. Let's make that jump. And let's stop trying to jump the gun. Let's stop trying to be perfect. Let's stop trying to have everything figured out up front. Because if you're trying to worry about having everything figured out, that means you're not maximizing the present. That means you don't see the opportunity that's right in front of you right now. You can take your body glaze right now and go make $10 million with it. You can take your body glaze right now and make your first six figures with it. But you won't do that. You're trapped in where you are right now because you're thinking about what else needs to come with the body glaze. You know what else needs to come with the body glaze? Sales. Sales. That's what needs to come with the body glaze. You're worried about these other products. You're worried about the perfect packaging. You're worried about getting the influencers to support you. Just worry about making your body glaze the best body glaze on the market. Get it out there and start making some money. Your confidence is built on the doing, the action steps, not the waiting. Let's move on. I want you to get clear. One offer, one outcome. If I could go back and say, hey, Donnie, what would you change? One offer, one outcome. The year that I went after my first 7-figure year, David and I, my business partner, David Shands and I sat on a podcast episode and we were trying to figure out how we had worked with, coached, and helped develop so many 7-figure entrepreneurs. But in full transparency, we were not yet 7-figure entrepreneurs. And it's like, how can you help these other people become something that you hadn't become? And I had to figure it out because I knew the systems, I knew the workflows, I knew the processes, I knew what customers like to buy. The problem is I still thought that I could be a multitasker. Hold on, because they're not gonna like this. I'm in your face right now. I'm nut. You buck? Y'all, I be cracking myself up. No, seriously. I am in your face right now because you think that you are the queen of multitasking. You think you are the king of multitasking. You can do this product and add that service. You can have this service and add that product. And there will be a time for that, but not until you make one thing good. I need you to focus on one thing until it's successful. I need you to focus on one thing until it is successful. You focus on one thing, Zell, because I'm going to say it one more time. Maybe third time's a charm. Because somebody's over there saying, no, I'm the exception. No, I can make it happen. I'm the exception. Come back. I'm the exception. I can make it happen. I don't know what she's talking about because I make a little bit of money here and a little bit of money there, and it's all working out. And as long as I'm making a little bit of money over here, I'm going to keep them both. I know that you're saying that because I was you. I was that person. I was making a couple $1,000s here. And why would I end that? Because it takes care of my car note, my insurance, maybe my electricity. I'm not going to let that go. I'm just going to let that do what it does and then work on this over here, which may take care of my rent, and then take care of this over here, work on this over here, which takes care of travel. I've ran all the scenarios through my head. I ran them all through my head, and I know that you're thinking that. I'm not letting that go because that's my car note money right here. Let me tell you something. If you focus on one thing, and don't start with 5 offers, just focus on one thing that solves a really big problem. The common trap that many entrepreneurs fall into is doing too much too soon. You can't be in every place at one time, and you can't deliver on everything excellently. You have no business trying to multitask and have all these different focuses when you don't have a single focus operating in excellence. I want you to think right now. Stop where we are right now. I want you to think about all these hands and pots, hands and things that you have going on. Which one of them? Name it real quick. Drop it in the chat. Which one of them are you doing in excellence? In excellence. Which one are you doing in excellence? That's the number one question that I have for you. And what I mean by that is the product has solved problems. You get great response and results from the customers that you've sold to. It's on automation, meaning you aren't manually delivering to anybody. You can execute timely. You have very limited customer service complaints, and you have it all figured out. You can duplicate that process over and over and over and over again. That's excellence. That's excellence. If you're not doing that yet, if you're still struggling to find your time, if you're still struggling to grasp your bearings, if you're still struggling and sometimes you've got a whole bunch of clients or customers and then sometimes you don't, if you're still struggling, sometimes you're in control of your time and then sometimes you're not. Sometimes you can predict how much revenue you're going to make every single month and then sometimes you can't. If that's you, you're not yet operating in one area excellently. So I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to focus on one thing, do it excellently. Here's the framework for it. You clear on the problem that you solve. You understand the problem. It's a big problem. It's a painful problem. Typically, it has something to do with helping people experience some type of transition in the way that they look, in the way that they feel, and how much money they make, in their spirituality, in their relationships with their children. You're solving a major, major, painful problem. Okay? All right? Then you have the people, you have the customers, you know who the people are. You know who the people are who need what you offer. You've identified them. You have a tribe of people coming to you like clockwork. Number 3, we're clear in what the promise is. We're clear in what your promise is to that people whose problem you solve, right? And number 5, we have a pathway to get there, meaning you know exactly how you do what you do every single day. You know exactly how leads come to you. You know exactly how you convert those leads into interested buyers or sales calls and all the things. You know exactly how you market to them. You know all of the points of entry. You know your word of mouth outlets. You know your paid marketing outlets. You know your organic outlets. You've got these 4 things figured out. Simplicity scales. Problem, person, promise, path. Simplicity. Simplicity sells. And there's only going to be like 7% of you who hear me. The other 93% of you are going to keep doing that confusing stuff that you already are doing. While simplicity sells, on the flip side, confusion repels. So if you want to continue to make money the hard way, if you want to continue to struggle throughout your process, if you want to continue to try to make ends meet, keep a confusing process and you will be successful at that. Congratulations, entrepreneur. You made the decision that this will be your biggest and best year ever in business. And I am so excited for you. It's just that you're missing something. The accountability and the mentorship that you said you need, the accountability and the mentorship that you said you were going to get this year. I know you're missing it because I'm not mentoring you inside of my community, Actionable CEO. I see everybody else. I'm looking through the names as I speak right now, and I'm seeing all the names, but I don't see yours. See, Actionable CEOs have something in common. They have 3 things in common, in fact. They are disciplined. They are action takers. They invest in themselves. But my favorite one is that they are action takers. Oh, wait, no, my favorite one could be that they're disciplined. It could also very much be that they invest in themselves. See, you can't do one without the other if you want major results. So I'm inviting you to check out my community, my mentorship community for entrepreneurs who are interested in personal development, professional development, and financial development. And you want to have a whole lot of fun connecting with other people in the community to network with. If I'm your girl, if I'm your person, if I'm your vibe, check out actionableceo.com right now to see if my mentorship community is the right one for you. In fact, I know it is. So just go there and hit register, join now, whatever. I'll see you on the inside. Bye. Let's get it. Systems beat hustle. If I could go back to year 1, Donnie, and say anything to her, it would be learn how to create systems immediately. And here's the thing. I know a lot of you are operating from a place of being bootstrapped, or maybe you're operating from a place of not having a lot of access to cash that you can invest into your business right away. We're talking year 1. Year 1, Donnie didn't have all the money to put into my business systems, CRMs. Girl, I could barely eat. You hear me? I'm barely eating. Y'all, I just had a tuna fish sandwich today and my mama made it. So if that's any indication, we still struggling to eat over here. No, I just like my mom's tuna fish sandwiches. But I understand when you hear the word systems, you're thinking money, right? And a system is simply what you need to deliver on your offer. What are all the things you need to deliver on your offer? You could be the system. You could be the system. Very early on, my systems included Facebook posting, responding to people via the DMs on Facebook, scheduling them in my journal, keeping a to-do list every single day in my journal, calling people from my personal cell phone to have their consultations, and hopping on a Zoom call. That was very early on in my coaching career. And at that time, I don't think it was Zoom. It was something else. It could have been like Google Meets or whatever was before Zoom. It was a platform like it, right? Real fuzzy. Couldn't really make out the faces all that great, but that's where it started 15 years ago. Those were my systems. But I knew that every single day I had a step one. Look at my to-do list. What do I have to do today? Okay. I knew early on that the money came from my Facebook post. So I knew that every single day I had to make a post on Facebook, because when I make a post on Facebook, I'm going to make money, or I'm going to get a new lead. Every day might not be a sales day, but I do know that every single day that I post, I'm going to get some traction. I'm going to get some activity. And that happens over time. I knew that once that happened, I needed to engage with those people. So let me get them out of my comments as quickly as possible and into the DMs, because once you get into my DMs, baby, we're done. I know that once I can get you, I knew that once I could get you into a one-on-one setting, I could have a conversation, discover what your needs are, and convert you into a customer. And then I knew once you became a customer, I needed a system in which I kept up with our appointments. At that time, it was my journal. I had a to-do list every single day in my journal. I had highlighters where I color coded everything. Yellow meant that I had a call that day with somebody. Green meant that I had to collect a payment from somebody. Green was for the money. Red meant that I needed to post on my Facebook page. I color coded everything. There was no money for me to invest in all the systems. But as soon as I started making money in my coaching business, because I was making money from other places, I used the money that I was making in my coaching business to reinvest back into my coaching business. Which brings me to this as a side note. Do not quit your job. Don't quit your job. That's the only multitasking I'm going to advocate for. You cannot build a business under duress. Well, you can. Let me take that back, because I did that too. I had to build a business or we weren't going to eat. I had to build a business because nobody was hiring me at that time, right? It was the middle of a recession. But if you can, do not quit your job. God, I would tell Day One Johnny to take her jobs more seriously, because your job is your first investor in your business. Every single paycheck that you get, whether you have an extra $20 from it, or an extra $200 from it, or an extra $2,000 from it, those are dollars that you can invest in your business. If I were a brand new entrepreneur right now and I was a consultant and I had to manage my schedule and I only had an extra $20 from my paycheck a week, the first thing that I would invest in would probably be a calendar system to keep my schedule organized, because I understand that I don't thrive in chaos. So I would invest the $14 a month with one of those extra $20 from one of these weeks in a calendar system. Okay, if I got $20 every single week left over, that's 4 weeks, that's $80. What can I do to take and maximize that money, those dollars? What can I do and take and maximize those dollars and invest? All right, I got a calendar system. Okay, great. Next, maybe a CRM. Look, because I need to send emails. As I'm getting leads, I need to be able to start communicating with people and send them something professionally. Maybe I do that. Maybe I get a website done. Maybe I take $9, or I go and look on GoDaddy and find one of their 99-cent specials and get my domain and pay that $12 up for the year. That's how I'm managing these things. But I hear too often that I don't have any money. Well, I'm going to challenge that. Print your bank statement out. That's what I would do. That's what I did in the very beginning when I used to work with entrepreneurs who were at their very beginning. I don't work one-on-one with entrepreneurs who are at the very beginning anymore, but I used to. And when I did, they say, Donnie, I understand, but I just don't have the money, Zelle, for a CRM. I don't have the money for a sales phone. I don't have the money for a business address that will allow me to apply for business capital and business funding. Okay, no problem. I believe you. Let's just fact check it. Check it though. Print your bank statements for your whole bank statement for the last 90 days. Oh, no, no. Now you got some money? Oh, that Starbucks? That McDonald's, you say? Oh, date night. Date night? You have the audacity to have a ribeye and no calendar? Are you kidding me? Print your bank statement for the last 90 days. Here's what I want you to do, because you don't have the money for systems. Print out your last 3 months of bank statements. I want you to take a green highlighter, green is for money, and I want you to highlight every line item. This is not on a computer. This is you printing it out. Go to FedEx, Kinko's if you have them printed out. And I want you to take a green highlighter, and I want you to highlight every expense that was not a necessity to living your life. I want you to highlight the dates, the brunches, the one time you wanted to have a drink. I want you to highlight all of that. I want you to highlight those lace fronts, those nails. My nails not even done. All right? My nails aren't even done. They're going to be done later today. But that's not the point. In the beginning, they were not done. All right? I couldn't do that. I want you to highlight the lace fronts. I want you to highlight the silk presses. I want you to highlight the bundles. Fellas, I want you to highlight the once a week barber appointments instead of the once every 2 week barber appointments. I want you to highlight all the things. I want you to highlight the dates that you take women on. I want you to highlight that pack of beer that you pick up because you need to decompress on a Friday night after work. I want you to highlight the condoms. I want you to highlight those Plan Bs. I want you to highlight all the things. Don't play with me. You cannot play in my face. All right? I want you to highlight your smoking habit, your edibles, the shots that you bought for somebody else trying to show out. I want you to highlight all those things. All right? Because that's your systems. Those are your systems. I want you to highlight every single Apple subscription. I got so many Apple subscriptions that come through my phone. I don't even know what I'm paying these people for at this point. I don't know. Everything is yes, 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 yes. I want you to highlight all those things. Crazy thing is, I do a bank account audit like every 6 months, and I always find money. And my question is always, how do I keep finding money that I'm spending that I don't need to be spending? Get serious. Get serious. Get serious. Y'all, I just this year, not just sitting in here, God is the truth. I drove a car. I owned a car that I never drove. The car total with all of its expenses was about $2,000 a month in monthly expenses. And I took the car. I was leasing the vehicle. At the end of the lease, I took the car back and didn't buy another car. Why would I keep paying $2,000 a month for a vehicle that stays parked 85% of the time? I, Donnie Wiggins, am a 7-figure entrepreneur, and I do not own a vehicle. Do you know why? Because I realized I could take that $2,000 and invest that into an offshore team that helps my clients operate at a more efficient level, which makes me a better coach, which makes me more attractive to their monthly budget every single month. My clients keep me because I keep elevating and growing. I'm not worried about what's in my parking deck. That doesn't mean that I'll never buy a car again. I'm actually thinking about it maybe this year, because it's been more than a year at this point that I hadn't had a vehicle. But I wanted to prove to myself, honestly, I didn't want to prove nothing. I just wanted to stop spending that $2,000 a month. But when I made the decision, Zelle, it became proof that I could reallocate those funds into something else easily. Because the truth is, I had been thinking, wow, I need to really hire an offshore team that could be working overnight so that my business is still there's progress, it's moving forward even when I'm asleep. But I did think about bringing on another expense. I did think about the fact that I am single and I provide for my mom and I help to provide for my daughter who's now starting to transition into paying, some of her own stuff. I did think about the payroll that I have to make already every single month. I did think about all of the expenses. And so when I eliminated that $2,000 monthly expense, it was a no-brainer. I didn't think about it anymore. I freed up some funds. So I want you to look at all of the decisions that you're making, and saying, am I properly allocating my money as seriously as my goal is to be successful? Systems greater than hustle. Some of you are stuck right now because you believe you need a team. You don't need a team. You need systems in place that operate like your team. Systems in place that operate like your team. In the beginning, day one, Donnie, first 6 figures, it was all me. I was the team. I was marketing, I was operations, I was the copywriting department, I was the customer service representative, I was fulfillment, I was the talent, I did all of the graphics, I was the graphic designer, I was my website builder. My website today that still makes money, I built myself. And you trying to tell me that you need a system? I got my butt right on YouTube and figured it out. And I didn't take months to do it. I did it in days. What's the shortest time frame that I can get basic, valuable information up? I still use that website 5 years later today. Built it myself. Now, as time goes on, I can now invest and have people do those things for me. But day one, Donnie, we're talking about day one. I didn't have a team. I put systems in place, and my systems acted like a team. Eliminate the excuses. Here's what most people waste time on in year one: perfecting your website. People don't even really read your website, if I'm being honest with you. When's the last time you read somebody's website top to bottom? When's the last time you said, you know what? If her hair was different, I might buy from her. Has that ever happened in your whole life? Naja, no, right? Zell, you ever looked at somebody's website and be like, yo, his face so bad, I don't really know. Buddy need a haircut, I'm not sure if I want to buy his beard oil. It just doesn't happen. But you spend all this time attempting to perfect a website. The second thing that people spend too much time on year one is endless research. Oh, you've got to become an expert at everything. You got to research this and research that and research this and research that. Oh, I got to research. It's always funny to me when I used to take sales calls and people would be like trying to qualify me to see if I qualified to help them. Okay, well, great. Thanks for the information. Let me do my research. I be wanting to be like, girl, did you research that man? Donnie, be professional. Did you research that nigga though? Y'all be wanting to research everything but the thing that you really need to be researching. In fact, if you research some of that other stuff, okay, next. Waiting for validation from other people. You're spending too much time waiting for validation. You want other people to tell you you're good enough. You want other people to come in and support you. The people who you know in your circle are not going to make you rich. They probably won't even help you get to 6 figures. Okay? You don't need your mom's validation. I know it's nice. I was on a mission for it forever. But I had to go. You know when I got my mom's validation is when I went out and became successful. Like, my mom didn't necessarily buy into the whole entrepreneur thing for me. She wanted me to go back to school, finish my chemical engineering degree, and be somebody's chemical engineer. Donnie, well, she calls me Nitra. Nitra, if you go back to school, if you go back to college and finish your degree, girl, I'm telling you, a Black female chemical engineer, you'll be bad. I'm telling you, your life will be made. They starting you off at $70,000 a year. It'll be amazing. My mom was telling me this when I was making 6 figures. She wanted me to go back to college to finish a degree when I was already successful and creating impact. And there was a specific event that happened where she saw things differently, but If I had waited on that validation, again, I've been trying to be an entrepreneur since age 17. I've done all the things. I owned a cleaning business. I owned a luxury concierge service. I owned a real estate company. I was a party promoter. I was an entertainment specialist. Like, I was all of the things. If it was legal, I did it. And if it was sketchy, I could have did that too. I'm just being real with you guys. This was day one, Donnie. I was broke. What you need done? I was running errands. I was a professional assistant. I was a personal shopper. I was a wardrobe stylist. I was whatever I needed to be to make money. I wasn't waiting for validation. I knew that there was a burning desire inside of me. I knew that I wasn't fit for a 9 to 5 all my life. And it's not even about a 9 to 5. I basically work the hours of 9 to 5 right now, right? But I knew that I wasn't only put here to continue to build somebody else's dream. And that really is what it boiled down for me. And I also knew that my life, the value of my life wasn't equal to what somebody else thought I should be doing. I didn't need, if my mother's validation never came, sure, it would have hurt, but I still would have kept going because I understood the value of my dream, the value of my life. Another mistake that people waste time on too much in year one is trying to build a follower. You're spending so much time trying to build followers that you're forgetting that you need customers. You don't need 10,000 followers. You need 10 strong customers. What if as a hairstylist, you had 10 people who came to you every single week? Could that make a difference in your career? You have $1,000 followers and 2 clients, or 200 followers and 10 clients. Huge difference. You're so busy. I got to get my following up. I got to get my following up. You on Instagram talking about, can you follow me back? I can show you 10 DMs right now from the last 7 days of people saying, hey, Donnie, can you follow me back? For what? Don't ever come and DM me and ask me to follow you back. The answer is probably always going to be no, because you didn't even say anything compelling enough for me to think about following you. You're better off telling me about your product and saying, can you check out my product? Then because following you brings me no value. Instead of searching for followers, search for people who would actually value your service or value your product and say, hey, I noticed on your profile that you're really into skincare. I've got this great glow oil that you might be interested in. When you get a second, check it out. If you like it, DM me. I'll send you a 15% off discount code. Because that $30 sale is worth way more than that one new follower any day of the week. Your followers don't validate you. I know people with millions of followers that can't sell t-shirts. Stop spending so much time trying to get validation through followers. A sale from 10 people beats a following count of 10,000 people, because only 10 of those people are really seeing your content anyway. You don't need the followers. I got hacked 4 times in a 2.5-year period of time. I went from hundreds of thousands of followers to 0 over and over and over again. And the year that I made my first 7 figures, I don't even know if I had 50,000 followers. But you think that you need all these followers and it matters. It doesn't. It doesn't. I want you to think about the brands that you support, the brands that you buy from every single day, the brands that you cannot do without: your toothpaste, your healthcare, your body care, your skincare, all the things. Do you follow them? Are you following Colgate? I don't follow Colgate. Okay, I don't buy from Colgate either. But the brand, you get what I'm saying? Were those plantain chips good? I don't follow those people, but I keep those plantain chips in my house like clockwork. This Apple computer, I have purchased several. I don't follow Apple. I didn't follow Steve Jobs when he was alive. The followers don't matter more than your customers do. Year 1, I need you to focus. I need you to find one thing. I need you to solve a really big problem. I need you to put some systems in place that help you solve that problem easily. And I need you to stop worrying about supplemental problems that aren't a problem and stay focused on the main thing. Is your offer clear? Do you have a delivery system in place? And are you talking to the right people? Is your offer clear? Do you have a delivery system in place? Are you talking to the right people? Is your offer clear? Do you have a delivery system in place? Are you talking to the right people? These are the only things that you need to be committed to in year one. The only things that you need to be committed to. And I'm telling you, for those of you who are still watching at this point, I believe that you're actually going to take action. And for those of you who do, your results are about to change. Your impact is about to change. At any time now, you will have your moment of suddenly. Stay focused, stay in there, stop overthinking it, stop letting fear control you, stop waiting on anybody else's validation, stop comparing your results to their results. I think if we learned anything this year is, but she's doing it this way, he's doing it that way. We don't know what these people are doing behind the scenes, who they're doing behind the scenes, or how many of them they're doing in one day behind the scenes to get access to these results. Not everybody is really building it from the ground up. Not everybody else that you're comparing yourself to is really building it ethically. Not everybody else is taking their paycheck and flipping that $20 into $200. Some people have financial support from others, and there's nothing wrong with it. But you can't compare your salon suite to their big bright light salon if they've got financial support from somebody with endless amount of access to capital. You just can't do it. That's not going to be your pathway. I can't compare my business consulting practice to that of a major institution that offers business consulting. I don't have their resources. I don't have access to the marketing dollars that they have. I don't have access to students who are already hearing about me. And it's not the same. I can't compare to that. And so in your year one, we're not comparing to that. You can say, oh, wow, that's goals. I would love to have that one day. But I'm not tearing myself down because I'm building it differently than somebody else. And I'm never again comparing my results to that of somebody else's because I don't know their journey. And what I'm learning more and more and more and more is that I don't want their journey either. I'll take my journey any day of the week over what I know some other people's struggles are or where some of those people's support is coming from. You stay focused on you. Focus, operate ethically and with integrity, and wait your turn. Your turn is every day. Every single day that you stay focused on this framework is your turn. Take advantage of your moment right now. Stay in your year one zone. And even if you're in year 5, if you skipped over what year one's journey is supposed to look like, go back and redo it. All right? And then one day you'll be able to tell somebody, I remember my year one start. I remember my beginning. I remember being embarrassed about my beginning because I was talking to people who looked so much further along. And stop letting your customers bully you into thinking that you need to show them something, like do magic tricks and start tap dancing in order to secure their business. Those aren't your customers. You just focus on delivering a really, really, really good solution to a really, really, really big problem and watch your results change. Comment, as usual, in the comments below, wherever you're watching this, which one of the principles that I taught today stood out for you the most. Where can you stand to do better? What resonated with you? What are you going to take action on going forward? What limited mindset or belief are you going to let go of immediately? Share it with me in the comments. I cannot wait to hear from you. Also, share this episode with another entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur that you know needs to hear this, all right? I'll see you on next week's episode of Full Transparency with Donnie Wiggins. Bye.